They're definitely $15 headphones. Yeah, I'm a Maverick.
Yeah, no, leave it there.
Yeah, this is gonna be terrible.
It's funny because I have like $300 versions of those, but there's no way I'm bringing those to.
No. You can get like $45 USB headphones. No problem. Yeah. That's fine.
But I will.
Yeah.
Once you pay off the other proxies.
Yep.
Alright, I'm so sorry about that, my friend.
Oh, you
So,
told me.
what I'm gonna do, okay? I'm gonna play a shock land, so I'm gonna go down to 17, okay?
Dice.
Then I'm going to. My fatal push that one. Then.
Rolling.
7. 5 on you.
I'm going to have to exile
Yep.
that one.
So I search for basic.
That one gets exiled though, not in your graveyard.
Okay.
Huh? I'm still. This is game 3. Oh, game 2.
Right?
Land comes in tap, yes.
Alright.
So that's the only one in the deck.
Alright. Let's see what I've got here.
What, back to exile?
Yeah.
I can tell you
I
that.
don't know how well this matchup goes for me.
That's the question. So you can ask, but some people might say like.
I think it comes down to if I have the removal or not. And that really is it.
You can ask, but there will be no answer.
And there may be consequences.
Okay.
I'm gonna mulligan as well.
Haywire. Take the soldier. Well.
There you go. No, it says it's a
The microphone's up.
pass. It's unglued, yeah.
Keep.
Unglued.
No, that.
Keep the strike.
Oh no, it's from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh.
But it's a token, so it doesn't matter where it's from.
I'll do that. I'll keep that on top. That'll be fun.
Sword of Feast and Famine.
On you.
Oh.
Go.
It'll give a creature +2/+2.
I know. And protection.
From black and green.
Pass.
And then when it deals damage to you, I untap all my lands
Go.
and you discard a card. Go.
Drop. Correct.
Yep.
Heal the prime trade.
You good?
Stone Forge Mystic. Resolves.
I'm gonna start to
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab Jitsu.
14. Yep.
There we go.
Good.
And I'll pass after that. Yep.
And return. Tap. Spectre Possession. 3 spirits in the battlefield.
It looks like you're gonna get third time guaranteed fund.
3 mana for 3.
I'm a fetch.
Okay. Sounds good. Proper execution of brainstorm there.
Go.
I'm learning.
I know. I'm glad. He actually used brainstorm properly.
Well, you brainstorm fetch?
Yeah. Brainstorm fetch.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna sword Stone Forge.
Yeah. A little bit.
You got it.
Oh.
Good idea.
Alright.
Take care of that.
Just those 2.
Just those 2.
Alright, I'll go 12.
There you go.
Protection. Which one is black and. Yeah, black and green +2/+2.
But that's
Whenever it deals so it's my turn, right?
Go ahead.
What's
The
up?
protection may be useless, but the card itself is very much not.
very much. Please do not attach.
I have a 18-year-old. So I'll attach? Oh, just the 2 of them. Yes. Where? It's a big age gap. Like 10 years? That's a big age gap. So when the 18-year-old doesn't care about magic. Got 2. Figures. Intangible virtue. You don't have any flying creatures, right?
No.
Depends
So-
on what he's into.
I'm going to attack with all three. So you're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Jutsu.
7, 8.
Pass. Hit.
So he's responsible student.
Go.
So he's like,
Total, yeah.
I had no
25.
life.
No, I was 23.
You were 23?
I'm busy with mine.
What's 23 minus
And
8?
that's what I did in high school.
Wasteland.
And then I
Goes forward. Tap.
Exactly.
Equip.
I did a double make.
Swing.
25.
You know, combat.
No, 15, 15, sorry, 15.
I got the
I don't know
Tapping
why I
Pest
said
Remote?
that. You have 15.
Tapping.
I'm sorry. Tapping with
Yeah.
Pest Remote?
Yeah.
And,
That's fine.
you have to discard a card.
Can totally tap itself.
Play this for free.
Can't do that with Deceiver X Arc. Deceiver X Arc cannot tap
I'll use
itself.
those.
I learn something new every day.
What? You forgot to see
Got 2.
Uh,
And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures to play. Honor the tier.
one that
Okay.
got
Honor the
tapped.
tier, so they'll get another +1/+1.
Pass.
And oh yeah, this is still
Joseph's
attached.
the person that makes like the announcements and
Go.
stuff. Is that your second main?
It's his turn now.
Yep.
No, I mean
Take
then
two.
your second main phase.
Oh yeah. No, it was already attached. I just accidentally moved it
Draw.
off.
Okay.
That's how I was able to tap everything.
I know.
I don't like
You're
this.
attacking with
Wait.
everything?
Why not?
I love it.
What was the condition for flipping?
4 more creatures. There you go.
So now you're attacking with all those guys.
So that's a 5/5.
Green one for
Okay.
1.
So let's see. This 2 is a 5/5. No, is that for strength? Oh, okay, perfect. You're taking with all those, right?
I know.
What are you getting, Mutter?
So I'll block all of yours of mine. Mine are 3, so you're not able to kill any of mine.
It's a misplay, but I don't care.
I'll take
Sure.
sure.
We can totally get there.
And then I'll block that one with this one, so they look
Try
straight.
it.
Wait, he did it.
Oh, I got noble.
Oh wow, yeah, you must be
Wait,
tired.
wait. Did you think it was gonna be mom?
You almost had me.
You can't get bombed.
Not green.
I'm a sword shard. In response to Exalted Tree.
Well, let's count.
What life you got, Andy?
So we equip it here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yep. I'm done.
Oh, which game?
What? Please don't.
That's sorcery.
Sorcery.
You don't gotta do that.
Why not?
Oh yeah, I put 1 in 2.
Oh, what's the prison?
They're
Seriously?
yeah.
I have 2, but now as well.
Oh, is that Wrath of God?
Take 2.
Yes. Pass.
Dismembers. Good old fashioned dismembers.
Is it okay if I play a game against him? Alright. Kevin! Want to play inscription? Kevin!
Yeah. Ready, buddy?
Kevin!
I got it 2-0.
Okay.
Good game, my friend.
That's pretty good. I'm sad.
Why?
That's what's up, Steve.
Just like 9 out of 10.
2 creatures?
Gotta love that Exalted.
2 more creatures. Damn it. Remove. 2 more creatures.
My turn?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you missed like 100 triggers for your life-based features in the first game.
No idea.
Cool.
Here's what's probably gonna tell you.
Apparently,
You would have been like a
Really?
60 life.
Dude, this is just
you don't have to pay
awesome.
attention.
Oh,
I wasn't at the 9.
Listen, you awesome to me.
I like it.
I'll eat your land.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it is bad, but it's also fun.
You have a soul sister, a experiment, and a wall of reference. Wall of reference.
Yeah.
At the end of your
But it
1, 2,
wouldn't
3.
change the
Ram it
outcome.
up.
It wouldn't have changed the outcome. Once I had work as you see, I can attack for like 50. So it wouldn't have made a difference.
That's
in
fair.
the outcome.
Think about blocking.
No. Remember at the end I was down. You had no flyers. I could have run for like 20 or 30 turns.
And if you steal that armor chair,
Right. But the bigger that you can't do, that you don't have control over. What you did have control over is not missing your life matrix. Remember that.
46 times 2, that many.
All right, Carlos, you're up.
Like the city. Oh.
Take
wait,
1.
This is the last match. Yeah.
City of Brass.
That's why he's saying 2-2 is not bad.
He says that's
That's what you're playing all day.
Oh, and the
It's a really good deck, my friend.
City of Bucks.
Ooh. Yep,
I like
that's
the
fine.
City of This was 40. Well, actually, it was worth 40 retail. I paid
Yeah. I'm playing for my house. I don't know if I have any, but
What's the score right now?
You have 2. You have so many outs. It's ridiculous. In the deck. Both halves of your deck beat me.
even if you have a GTA on 3,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Deceiver Exarch wins unless this gets up to 4.
Yeah.
But you have other rules to push you through.
It doesn't matter. I can't kill Deceiver Exarch. And the copies are 1/4.
No, Mother rules.
You have outs.
Don't you play both?
It's not very
I
many.
don't play both.
No, it's not run burn. Not on the main.
Monster's critical.
You can totally keep one card and shuffle the rest away if it's exactly what you need.
Oh shit, that's a line.
That is absolutely a line. That is how you play this deck. Targeting?
No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I know.
No, no, I don't want to play anymore.
Oh, you're done?
Are you kidding me?
I don't know what to do.
Mother of Runes is offline.
How?
I just played it.
But then you
Summoning
just equip
Sickness.
Yeah, you would have.
Oh, I'd absolutely equip over here and swing, but so what? It buys you a turn.
Liliana of the Light Realm.
No, I wasn't getting it.
Oh, these are actually Bat-ish.
Yeah.
I like that. Where'd you get this?
I say it's get the removal or not against your deck.
I see why you do it.
Huh.
I mean, it's like there's a moment where you have to check.
Nothing is a
Something you don't check.
It's nothing. It's not.
Yeah.
But it's better than the Glossy Ultra Credit.
Nothing has a protection of
But you have to check that they're both. Oh my god.
All my valuable
When
decks-
shuffling, so you don't end up with your cards upside down.
I do really like.
Happens.
That was. I have one of my best friends. He works at university.
Alright,
That was
Johnny's making
recording
me leave.
for an album.
You gotta leave.
Oh yeah,
What?
re-recording.
Oh, you want to see another game?
That was the music video.
Okay.
That's dropping.
Let's go, James.
Alright. Yeah.
Maybe.
That's my baby. 100-year-old. The actual rule is that as long as they're legible,
Technically
they're
close.
fine. But we prefer printouts if possible.
Aw.
It's fine to Carlos. I'm like, what does that mean?
I'll keep. This is gonna be like silly.
Alright, let's see. Let's roll.
Go for it. Is it?
Do you see? Oh, I don't. The plan is not to win. The plan is to prevent him from winning. That is how you. That's how you gotta play this matchup. You just stop him from winning. So this, all right, this.
I'll keep.
Just cry all the cards, just like.
Totally my bad.
Choose what to do with that one.
What? Huh?
Either half of his deck beats me, but he needs to get one half or the other.
I don't want it.
You don't want it, so it goes onto the bottom.
Yes, sir.
All right.
What? Dude, I accidentally
He's crying.
too.
He's cried too. There you go. Done. Lead off. That panda. It's definitely not the worst turn one play.
I retired from. I can see. It was too good for me.
This can be so bad. I gotta play safe. Play it safe. Yeah. I mean, it can definitely bite me in the butt, but keeping this hand already is risky enough. I mean, the hand does everything that I need it to
Okay.
in most matchups. I don't know why I presented that to you. I'm gonna dig back in. 0. Alright. Oh man, this deck shuffles so much.
Comes by next time we meet Carlos.
Who does?
David.
Hernandez?
Pass.
Yeah.
Alright.
That'd be awesome.
Probably
Go ahead.
sometime this week,
On you.
maybe. Carlos, what day is better for you?
Untap draw.
Wednesdays
Yep.
are good for me. But I like driving down. It's always fun.
What is that just?
Being
Yeah.
next to 1-1 mirrors.
Yeah, trigger. At 22.
Go the same way.
See, I'm a
Oh,
great
that's
fish.
perfect. Getting rid of those spotlights.
You play tokens, I play tokens.
So what do we have?
It does look better.
James,
Oh, by the way,
what
okay, so
debauchery is this?
You're definitely
And we'll see. It's Maverick.
Oh, that's Legacy.
Yeah. Real man's format. Rah, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
What if it's a winning plan?
Whose deck is that?
I'm okay with this.
Can we just assume gender?
Mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say
They're both
it's-
mine.
Okay,
How do you know it's a one?
are those real Volganic Islands?
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
How broke are you?
Not
So,
very.
2 life more and 2
He's
these.
on salary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen my Maverick deck.
never seen
Volcanic Islands really are not that big a deal.
No, not next to those teams.
I've never seen it, but I'm sure I can imagine.
It's
Yeah.
all shiny. I mean, it's 100%
no.
foil.
We don't. This is the secret. One of the rules of Magic. We don't talk about how much your decks cost. How much your decks
I
cost?
ordered
Big
4
Tiger's
Chinese
what?
Thalias.
Hang
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it finally popped up on eBay.
From your homeland.
Oh, dude, not from
Sure.
my homeland.
That's
Well,
what I
if,
said.
if you count Taiwan as part of China, then yeah, from my homeland. Yeah.
They're coming back home.
They're coming back.
They're coming.
Wait,
You're Chinese, I don't know. Just say you're getting them.
in Miami, so I speak Spanish.
You're still
I'll pass.
Asian. It counts.
I don't speak Spanish, and I'm part Cuban.
Go.
Okay, that worked out. That was clearly the correct line of play.
It ain't my fault, sure. Kevin,
Yes.
it ain't my fault.
Okay.
Whoa.
This is
I don't know why I think that was tangent
I hope
or
you
something.
saw. This is exactly how I wanted the game to play out from my opening hand. Everything I drew, completely irrelevant. These are literally the exact opening hand that I wanted.
Don't let me do anything.
I think I just win.
I don't know if I agree with her. I think we've changed.
not fair.
I mean-
These are each 3, so swing for 6 in the air.
One day, right?
My
One
grandma
day.
never liked
One day we'll see. Well, actually,
Right.
my legacy.
No, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, you're right.
That's literally the cheapest.
Black white.
I'm not enjoying this.
one deck you can make.
Go.
It's not even one.
Blackbird BNB.
Yo, you know what he has-
If you don't get the balance, cheap, the rest is cheap.
Well,
Look, dude,
I've-
it happens.
Excavator just.
It happens.
The quality of your voice is pretty
If
good.
you get the balance,
Yeah,
cheap,
comes out alright.
no, it's less than
I'm just, you know me. I'm just. Yeah, I'm not very good at being, front stage. I'm usually backstage. So that's why I don't narrate very well. I mean, I don't need excavator, but it's just fun.
Funny.
You can play.
Right?
Make me cry.
That mirror. Search your library for a
Sure.
near card, and you can look crazy stuff. I remember playing
Sylvan
this at one
Safekeeper.
point or something similar.
What's this?
It was.
Wow.
It's prototype. But.
Pass.
So you tapped it and made another mirror and passed it. Alright.
I'm gonna take myself out of this grade.
Three, four.
At this point, I now need to start paying attention to what I draw.
You
because
James.
because everything so far is exactly my opener.
Swing with
You
4
do,
in the air.
James.
My turn?
Yeah.
Alright. But this is like strategically how you're supposed to win.
Oh, him.
It's 5/5. But it
As a
is
combo.
irrelevant, as you know.
You would keep the fence there and then wait until you mean like you see a cave, then you respond, fetch, have to buy, and play a rugby.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, only one, but still, that's just changed it to well, like
Okay, that's fine with me.
It's fine with me too.
Did I play land for turn? No, not yet.
No, you have not.
But I can bring it out.
What do you use instead?
Drive.
I can bring it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Master's Call.
It's in my hand. May as well play.
It brings out two.
Fair. I wish I had more of those.
Activate.
Next turn.
Sure.
Keep all you guys reach.
Oh no.
Wait, son. Yeah, white. Um, I played this last turn. 2.
Ideally, I
Okay.
want my future to
I don't
Pass.
know if I can live though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to get
How's that reach?
I'm gonna try.
I'm okay with this.
Go ahead.
Good.
Telling you, he has to make a commander deck out of the advice.
Untap.
Commander deck on the good basket.
Wasteland's a good card.
Ready.
Yeah.
No, it's
I mean,
your
the
battles-
only way for me to not lose is keep you off 4 mana.
Oh no, I thought it did say that.
And a Supreme Verdict. Is it in the deck?
I wanted to put Supreme Verdict in there, but it really, in the matchups where you want Supreme Verdict, you want to combo off instead.
Yeah.
That's the better play.
Let's see.
All right, here we go.
You know what's worked out well on
Tech face. Yeah, tech face. 3.
Sure.
How did you get that?
Too many Spirit Dragons.
He's rude as
Yeah, I get my
fuck.
face in that. And
I'm still one of those guys.
No, no. Wasteland.
Kill him.
Now you can't wasteland those.
What's tomorrow's date?
Tomorrow
is the 20th.
I do have a ghost quarter available.
Go ahead.
Are you okay?
Unless-
Sad fish.
Happens.
I mean, my deck is doing exactly what it needs to do in order to win.
My deck's not like it.
Draw.
9, 12.
Irrelevant. Enter tech face.
I'm pretty sure
How much is
I'm
that for?
Oof.
You
2, 3, 4, 5,
We're just gonna say
6,
that.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And then I was gonna play.
Should have swung it with moms. No, I needed the moms up for. Actually, no. With blue up, nothing.
So close.
Yeah,
Knife gang killed you?
that's true.
No.
The-
The fires.
Johnny.
With +2/+2.
It is 100% accurate. I just
So close.
wasn't looking at life totals. No, I wasn't looking at life totals.
Yeah, that's.
I lose.
Yeah.
No, I have.
Or the infinite combo. You have to go straight infinite combo.
Man, you see, I this
What?
is worth waiting for your second.
Did you see the next card?
Yeah, he drew perfectly.
My deck did exactly what it needed to do in order to beat his deck, which is keep him off of resources and continue to put on threats that he can't deal with.
I couldn't do anything.
Good match.
Love it.
I mean, the only thing I can do is prevent the turn 3, turn 4 win.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's
Tell
Which
them
one,
to-
mine?
Yo,
My build?
sorry, those-
Oh yeah,
those-
this is the build that this is a silly build,
so funny.
and
Yeah.
this is not a build that I would take to a major tournament.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, that
it does
jack
everything that
only
I
does-
want
the
it
USB
to.
doesn't transfer audio, only the jack itself.
Yeah,
So I need
I'm-
to have I need to get something that
I'm
can
gonna open
do
it up.
2 headphone/microphone jacks in one.
Wait, they have splitters,
I know
right?
they do, but I just don't have much for them.
I'll spell it out for a little bit at least.
Yeah, it's going to plus one. I just have to get up early.
Oh,
I'm not gonna
oh, that's right. And the best part is
Every single hour of sleep
Is vital.
precious.
yeah. For a doctor, absolutely. That
I'll
is.
keep.
Okay.
I got 2 proxies in the deck.
Where? Oh.
That's right.
I'm lending them out at the moment. So I was like, alright, whatever. Okay, I know I'll get them back.
You pay. You have to pay
Alright,
for the
CJ.
cost.
Alright, man.
No.
When do you
See
get?
you,
To,
doc.
when is it?
When I attack with
I don't know if you saw them.
In 3 turns.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
They are gorgeous. You saw it in person?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
That's
Oh,
easy.
I don't like using my phone.
Yeah. These guys.
All right, guys. Oh, actually, you can't hear me. 'cause you're
No,
hearing
you can't
Sign
hear
us
him.
off, sign us off.
We're signing off now? Alright. We're signing off today.
Unless you want to like a deck tech or something.
How much time do we have?
As much as you want, because we're finishing a match.
I need a few minutes. I'm gonna open this up and then
There you go.
I'll just explain out the deck,
My dad.
the wonkiness, and how I would modify it if I was going to a big tournament.
I'll text him later. Go for it. Okay, guys. So words of wisdom from James coming up.
Johnny, it takes like 2 minutes.
I'll be the guy. I'll be the really cute dumb guy that doesn't know anything. I actually have no idea how you run this deck.
I'm
Which
sorry.
deck is this?
This deck is silly.
And that's
This
it?
is Maverick. Yeah, let me open it up and then I'll open up how the deck works, why I put what I put in here, and what I was aiming for when I put the deck together, and how it has not performed as well as I wanted it to. Not that it performs poorly, it just doesn't perform as well as I want.
What change do you want to make?
So here we go. So one of the things that I would do is I would put in a 4th verdant catacomb. I don't know where I would, what I would take out for it, but first let me go over why I put together what I put together, and then we'll go over how I would change it. Utility lands.
Instead of having a 4th wasteland, you have a ghost quarter.
Remnant Excavator. So Remnant Excavator is essentially a Crucible Worlds on a body that I can green sun for, which is absolutely amazing. Yep. The guy is seeing play everywhere.
Okay, so they don't circle extraction.
So the lands are my typical Maverick land base. I've got 7 fetches, so 3 verdants, 4 windswept heaths, 2 basic lands, green and white, so forest and plains, 2 dryad arbors, which is always something that I get a lot of flack for, but they prevent me from needing to mulligan so many times. Having a green sun and a dryad arbor in my opening hand does not mean it's an automatic mulligan because I have a 2nd dryad arbor available to me. Also, when I first put in the 2nd dryad arbor, it was against miracles.
Okay.
So just dryad arbor beats. I've got dryad arbor and a fetch land up. They go terminus, sweep my field. That's fine. End of your turn, I'm gonna crack a fetch land, put another dryad arbor on there, and swing in again next turn.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
And it's
My creatures
it's
are lands.
amazing. Yeah. All right.
You played that before. I had
4
Yes.
land destruction cards. So in this build, I've got the 3 wastelands and a ghost quarter. Sometimes I'll put in 4 wastelands. It really depends on.
Why don't you main
meta.
4 wastelands? Wouldn't that be better? Since they don't have to get a land search.
So because it's legacy, I am playing around the idea that my opponent has maybe 2 basics, and with Ramanap Excavator, I'm doing this every single turn. At some point, there's just going to be a strip mine.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So then eventually it's failure to find. So you're just destroying
Exactly.
the lands.
So I'm just sitting there and I'm just destroying their lands left and right, which is
Ah, okay.
amazing.
Okay.
All right.
But you couldn't use that combo with wasteland to keep bringing it back.
I could, but then if they, for whatever reason, put out a basic, they can continue functioning. I would rather prevent them from being able to function as often as possible, which is the reason that I put this version of the deck together. The other reason I put this version of the deck together is the resilience. All right. So 5 protection creatures.
Okay.
So we've got 4 Mother of Runes, which is pretty standard, and then a singleton Sylvan Safekeeper. Sylvan Safekeeper is sacrifice a land, target creature I control gains essentially Shroud.
Okay.
The other reason that it's amazing is if for whatever reason I get into the late games and I happen to have a knight out, I can alpha strike with the knight by giving it Shroud, swinging in, and sacking my entire field.
And then you can still play off of it. with
And I
this
can
guy
still
out
play off of Ramanap Excavator
while destroying
if
their
needed.
stuff.
Hmm.
That's very mean. I love it.
So again, going with the very LD heavy
Light.
theme, I've got 2 Vindicates instead of 2 Abrupt Decays, which I have on the board.
Okay.
All right. So
Abrupt
Vindicate
Decays on
target.
sideboard?
Abrupt Decay is on the sideboard, so that's in those matchups again, primarily against the blue decks where I want to be able to get rid of something and they can counter it.
Would it be what would you be hitting, like GTA or something?
That's the original card.
With the Vindicates,
Yeah.
lands.
Target
It is
from-
destroy target permanent. It is not the new guy Anguish I'm making, which is an instant, lose 3 life, destroy target non-land permanent. This one allows me to hit their lands, which
Got
is
it.
very, very relevant, even at
And-
sorcery speed.
And how many cards do you have that let you play on your graveyard? Just
So Night of the Reliquary plays out of my graveyard,
Yeah,
which
and then
is the
that's
big
the new
one.
one that came
All right.
out in
So then the new one, which came out in
Ixalan or something.
no, not Hour of Devastation.
Amonkhet?
Amonkhet.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Ramunap
So
Excavator.
Ramunap Excavator.
Yeah, that
Yep.
guy's amazing. I
So
knew that
this
was
is the
gonna
guy that lets me play out of my graveyard
As soon as
even
I
more.
pulled one, I knew that was gonna be a big thing.
Yep. And then the other card that
Mhm.
I really wanted to try fitting in here, which has done amazing work, Renegade Rallier. Again, I have so many fetch lands. I've got the Land Destruction.
Here's what
I
he's talking
have
about here.
Knight of the Reliquary, all of which allow me to trigger Revolt. Triggering
Got it.
Revolt allows me to take a permanent with CMC 2 or less and put it straight onto the battlefield from my graveyard.
Got it.
That includes lands, that includes a majority of my creatures, that includes my Jitte, Teague,
Literally everything except
almost
the knights.
everything except for,
5 cards.
5, 6 cards in my main board. Everything else I can
So it's all
return
gas.
with Renegade Rallier.
And with revolts, you're using
Exactly.
wastelands, you're using ghost quarters, you're bringing stuff back and taking them out. You're always gonna have
Yep.
revolt.
And this is the other reason that I'm playing
Sword, I
Light
was
and
gonna ask about
Shadow.
Sword of
So
Light and
Sword and Light and Shadow. A lot of people put in the main board Fire and Ice, which
Okay.
is just a standard card. It
That's
allows
what I-
you to extend with the 2 damage, either to a creature or to the face, or allow you to draw cards, which
Mhm.
drawing cards is super relevant. This deck, as it's built right now, does not draw very many cards, and I'm 100% fine with that because my idea is to thin out the deck.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, you're destroying. I was gonna ask because I know Light and Shadow is Fire and Ice. That's what I expected.
Yeah.
Light,
Fire and
what's
Ice.
the second one for Fire and Ice? But has the +2/+2.
Okay, I'm at 15.
So it's +2/+2. Deal 2 damage to a creature or player and draw a card.
Oh, so it does have card draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
Oh,
the
you wanna
Fire and
grab
Ice.
this and how
Light
they
and
do it?
Shadow gives me the 3 life,
Okay.
which is relevant. A lot of times when I'm, grinding out wins or trying to get out away from burn, trying to get even against lands. Just if I can connect with this 2-3 times, a 20/20 doesn't scare me anymore because it's just
Wait.
2 swings now. And
For
with
a
Night,
deck.
with a Caracas up, just enough time that I need that I can afford it. The other incredibly relevant ability with Light and Shadow is the fact that I can get back any creature I want to my hand from the graveyard. Right. So whereas Renegade Rallier puts something from my graveyard to the battlefield, Light and Shadow puts it to my hand. That includes Dryad Arbors. That includes any of these guys. Includes my Knights. If my Knights are Excavator or even another Rallier, I can put it back up into my hand. Incredibly relevant.
I was gonna ask about the Gaddock Teague, how that would run in.
Gaddock Teague is something I've always run in the main. It's just a catch-all against the combo decks. If I know that I'm playing against
Got
a
it.
combo player in the first couple of turns, I got 4 Green Suns, which allow me to get, I just go slam a turn 2, turn 3 Gaddock Teague. More often than not, that gives me the option to just hose them out of the game because they can't do anything. So a lot of times going, turn 1 Savannah into Mother of Runes, turn 2, if I have Gaddock Teague in hand, I'll play another green source, play into straight Gaddock Teague, or even just a green sun turn 3 Gaddock Teague. A lot of times, they can beat me turn 1 or 2,
Maybe.
but the important part is to play to the norms, and the norms is that they're going to be beating me turn 3, 4, or 5.
I mean, it's combo, yeah.
Exactly. So putting out the Gaddock Teague on turn 3 or 4 is always viable in those
I
matchups.
see only one. Can you explain that card? I can't really see it from
All right, so Scrib Ranger is a great card in this matchup in this deck. So it allows me to return a forest, of which I have many,
Yeah.
untap a creature. All right. So I have Noble Hierarch, produces mana, allows me to add more mana. Deathrite Shaman, 1 mana
Anything.
Planeswalker, it gives me multiple activations with it. Mother of Runes, okay, activate Mother of Runes. Okay, in response, I'll attempt to kill something. That's fine. I'm going to flash this guy in, which is incredibly relevant. Return a forest to my hand. Untap Mother of Runes. Protection again.
Mhm.
Very relevant. Neither
How come only
Reliquary.
one
This is the
instead of
big one.
more? Because I'm only seeing.
It's just a toolbox card.
Got it.
It's only there to
Toolbox,
get there. Yep.
Toolbox.
Toolbox.
Oh, somebody here
Toolbox.
likes toolboxes. I want to-
Toolbox. These are
Chris
all
here made a
toolbox
joke about
cards. Yep.
This
And
toolbox vintage.
and it really is just a very heavy green sun deck. And
what-
then I run the
yeah, of
3
course, Thalias,
Thalias, which is again just a catch-all.
yeah. Oh, you play
I
both
run
Thalia.
no, just the one
Okay.
type of Thalia. I do not run the 3-drop Thalia. A different version of my deck does. This
Okay.
one does not. And the reason that I'm running the 2-drop
That's
is because I'm
non-creature
trying to
spells,
keep
right?
everything less than 3. But yeah, this is the one again against spells. Spells is a problem for my deck on times.
Yeah, because if that resolves, all some forces wills and dazes have to at least
Yep.
cost 1 or 2.
Which is incredibly relevant.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll keep a 1-lander, and if they don't draw into it, it's like, oh, bye. That's very good.
And then the Stoneforge going
Stoneforge.
into, this is just the standard Stoneforge package here. Again, typically not running the sort of Light and Shadow. So with this in mind,
So is this the one that you want to change, or this is the change you want to make?
this is the deck that I have as it is now.
What changes
And
do
what
you
I want to do is make changes here. So again, I love the Green Sun package. That's why a vast majority of my cards are green. The Stoneforge Mystic package is great in this deck. I've got enough bodies to carry equipment. My plan is to cut the Jitte.
Really? That's
Yes,
such a
and
main.
it's a main card. I'm considering putting it on the board.
A sideboard?
Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense.
In the matchups where it shines, it really shines. In every other matchup, my deck doesn't do anything with it. It just kind of is a Jitte, which is
valid.
great, but it doesn't do anything.
Not in the main board.
So taking it out and putting in sort of body in mind.
What body are you thinking?
So body in mind is the green-blue sword. Protection from green, protection from blue.
Oh,
+2/+2. Creates a body, which is the 2/2 wolf, and mills 10. I don't really care about the mill 10. It's something relevant, but rarely does it do what I need it to. But putting in an extra body is very relevant. And having the pro green is incredibly relevant in those grindy matchups. It's great in the mirror matchup where I need to be able to swing in. They can just keep putting out body, cheap body, cheap body, cheap body over and over again, which is another reason that I'm bringing in this guy main. The Sword of Light and Shadow is pro white,
and then you can just shave that.
and I can just put in, it's great against Elspeth that generates 3 tokens or generates 1 token or something, which just sits there and chumps blocks my knight all day long. But the other decks that give me trouble are like the Veteran Explorer decks, which just keep putting out cheap bodies and they just chump block for days. Putting in the green-blue protection gives me that option to swing through. Okay. Yes, I have the moms, which gives me the pro color, but a lot of times I use the moms primarily as spell protection. Okay, it's more defensive protection, whereas the swords would be offensive protection.
And if for whatever reason you need another one, that's why you have this bad boy to trigger that. So you have. So if it goes into
right. So if it ever gets into a stack war, I try to win out with the Scrib Ranger.
And so that's one change. Is that the only change that you're gonna make? So you're saying GT right here.
So the GT would come out for the sort of body in mind.
Do you have it with you now?
No, I don't have anything with me, unfortunately. I would put the 2 Vindicates on the board. They are really cute. They're really good when they're really good, but I'd put them in the board and I'd take the 2 Abrupt Decays that I have on the board, and I put the 2 Abrupt Decays back because the Abrupt Decays are more catch-alls, which is incredibly relevant.
Is it non-land permanent?
Yeah, Abrupt Decay is destroying any non-land permanent. We convert them at a cost 3 or less.
That was my debate.
And it can't be countered, which is very relevant in the blue decks.
Force of will, but I knew that.
Yeah, Force of Will, anything. It really doesn't matter. Even spells or abilities. So a lot of times you'll have
a Death Shaman ability that can win the game.
some sort of ability that says counter target spell that targets this. I don't care. I'm gonna get rid of it anyways.
Got it.
Counter target spell that targets me unless I pay 1 extra. Well, I'm not going to pay the 1 extra, and it's still going to go through.
So abrupt decays are going to take care of.
So the abrupt decays will come in. They take care of the creatures early game. They're easier on my mana, so you would think that green black and white black were the same in this deck, but legitimately the green black is easier to cast than the white black, and the fact that it's instant speed is very relevant, especially in the combo matchups and stuff, and Vindicates sorcery, right? So that's a switch I'm going to make right off the bat.
Okay, so then that's 3 cards. This one, I'll just turn it sideways so the camera can know that's going to go out. And what's the next one?
So the next one is the questionable one. All right, thinking about cutting down to 2 Thalias, all right, and putting in a second Excavator. Excavator has been doing amazing work. And despite the fact that 2 of them don't stack very well, neither do two Thalias.
Mhm.
I can search for the excavator,
Yeah,
and
with
the
green
excavator
summon.
does more of what my deck is trying to do,
Land destruction.
which is the land destruction, or even just thinning out the deck, running multiple fetches.
Mhm.
You know, the other thing that's great with excavator, which I have done, and it's one of my favorite things to do,
What's that?
Horizon Canopy. I
What?
just go. I've got an excavator on the field. I'm gonna draw a card. Play Horizon Canopy from the graveyard.
And these two can attack.
And that gives me the
So it's gonna
ability
be
to
air with
draw.
vigilance
That's my
or-
draw engine, if you will,
Mhm.
to continue drawing through my deck as efficiently as possible. Yes, it's at the expense of a land drop, but a lot of times when I'm in that situation, I've already got a presence and I'm just trying to get through a stalemate, or I'm just trying to find that one answer, and I don't need my land drops. You know?
Mhm.
And as soon as I find what I need, I no longer need to do that. I can play with whatever it is that I've
Okay.
drawn. You know?
That's a huge change. That'd be more of I don't
So-
want to say
so it-
combo.
I mean, you know, it synergizes the deck a little bit better, you know, and it does change things a little bit, but they're changes for the better. The other thing that I've considered is going down a creature,
Which one?
and that's where the questionable part is. So I have been told to cut one swords, go more, cut a swords, and put the fourth verdant catacombs.
Really?
Because I'm trying to go over my opponents with what it is that I'm trying to do. And it's something that I'm considering primarily because if I cut the Jitte for the sort of body in mind,
Okay.
with
Then
the
you
package,
have body right here.
I have the ability to go through
I'll go on my creature
whatever
attack, fetch
creatures are
nothing.
being placed out there. I don't need the fourth swords
That makes
plowshare, and
sense
I'm
because
okay there.
it is really a body because the other
Mhm.
sword.
So swing
That's the whole
Right.
point of it. You're making wolf tokens, so
Mhm.
it does count as.
So
a
it does kind of replace itself, and it does lend more to putting out more bodies onto
Makes
the
sense.
battlefield, which is something my deck is trying to do. And with the second excavator, having the extra fetch lands and the fetchable sources is incredibly relevant, especially in the early games, where I can realistically have an opener full of fetches and never draw a fetchable land the entire game because I've fetched through them all. And that's 100% viable with what it is that I'm trying to do, which is thin out the deck over just straight card draw. All right. I do have a Sylvan Library on the sideboard in the matchups where I expect have to grind through,
Okay,
or
so
where I
that's what Dark Depths
expect,
runs.
yeah, you know, so a lot of the Dark Depths style decks, they'll run the Sylvan Library in the main. I'm not running the Dark Depths combo in this
No,
version
not at all.
because I'm running the heavier creature
I
version.
like this. It's a really cool combo. It's very unique.
Yep. So one of the things that I tried to do is when I built the deck, I built the deck with the synergy on this half in mind.
Which
you
is
know?
the land destruction.
Yeah, which is the
playing
land
with the-
destruction, playing out of the graveyard, and staying as resilient as possible. And again, that lends itself to why I put Light and Shadow in as
So that's
over anybody else.
So that's 3 cards thinking putting in. GT out
So
for
the
that.
GT out for the other sword, the
for a
Thalia
second.
out for the excavator,
Erasure for,
and
and how come you wouldn't get a druid because that's a body and a land, or are you more concerned with getting the fetch?
right, yeah, no, I want the dry. 2 dry arbors is more than enough. If I put in a third, it slows my early game down.
True. And then
You know,
I feel like
and again, the main board transforms dramatically coming out of the side. The side is
what is the sign?
primarily to hole up any problems that I have with the main board. So again,
And
primarily purpose for the main board is to put out creatures as consistently and as resiliently as possible, protecting myself as often as possible, and when I can't protect myself, being able to bring my resources back from the graveyard is incredibly relevant. All right.
is that really is this a tier 1 deck or is it more like a
Tier 1.5. I mean, everybody complains about Maverick not being good enough. You know, and I've been saying this for years. The problem with Maverick is that I can't just hand it to you and expect you to pilot it well. You've got a lot of Delver decks, which you can do that.
Yeah.
You can just hand somebody a Delver deck, they'll play with it for a day, and they'll be able to take it to their local F&M and put up reliable results.
I'm a burn
Maverick,
player. I understand the same.
yeah.
No, it doesn't take a lot to figure out.
No, Maverick took me 10 solid months of playing with it before I had a winning average when I would go to, you know, local F&M or something like that. You know, and
And there's respect for that.
it's frustrating at first, but I knew what I was getting into when I started
you want
putting
to try
it
a game
together.
against it?
Sure.
Let me go through the
I'm down.
sideboard and then we'll throw a game together. Yeah.
What am I playing?
Something reanimated probably.
Okay,
But let him go to the board. And then
Yeah.
you got it. For the viewers' pleasure, I don't play. I'm more of a modern player.
Yeah.
I've just been playing Legacy for a few months, so
Yeah.
I'm still kind of a noob.
So,
So for me to
here
misplace.
we've got our sideboard. So
Okay.
in the
Library
grindy
went through.
matchups, I've got the Garuk Relentless, which is here we go. Let's bring this out. This is the Garuk that flips. He's from Innistrad,
Oh,
so
okay,
he's the one. He's simple removal for the little guys, and he makes bodies on his front side, which is incredibly relevant when I'm just trying to clutter the field. On the back, he makes Death Touch tokens, which is incredibly relevant in those grindy matchups. I'm just going to start swinging in with my Death Touch token. You're either going to block or not, and you're going to start losing
And if
guys
you
quickly.
do +1, do it again. +1, do it again.
Exactly. The -1 is sacrifice a creature, and then search my library for a creature card and put it into my hand. So this is a way of
get
getting
out.
whatever I need and
Either
putting it out.
Him or you
Yep.
need to get the 3 guys so you can play for
You know,
one.
and
how
then-
do you? What's your strategy in order to get him to 2 loyalty counters to trigger the flip?
I don't care if he flips most of the time. Most of the time, I just use him as a body, especially when in those control matchups where they can't deal with a planeswalker that just continues putting out bodies. And then
Really?
he's great
I see that.
against opposing Deathrite Shamans. That's my primary way. Okay, you're
Definitely.
running a Deathrite Shaman, that's fine. I'm going to play this guy out on turn 4. I'm going to shoot your Deathrite Shaman. I'm going to flip him over and continue putting out bodies over and over and over again.
That's right, Shaman is the whatchamacallit.
It's the
The
one,
one mana.
The one
And then
mana.
it could like exile stuff from
Yep.
the graveyard. So
either land. And I'm sorry, I see Aethernis.
Ether Swarm Canonist, this is for the combo matchups. This is for the Delver matchups. This is for the
It wouldn't
cantrip
slow you down.
matchups.
Doesn't it slow you down equally?
Nope.
But you only, I mean,
I
it's
don't
only-
care if I only play one spell a turn. My spells are more often than not going to be more resilient than yours, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You know, this comes in against those decks that it will just hurt you because you can't
And then turn.
Especially
cantrip
control
off.
people,
You can't
that's-
find out what it is that you need. If I get this out turn 2 with a Mother of Runes on turn 1 against a Storm player, the probability of them winning is incredible.
Yeah, yeah, Storm is very strong.
Yeah.
What
So
that is
Scavenging
used?
Ooze. This is for the graveyard matchups and the other creature matchups. If I can make my dude a lot larger than your dudes, I'm just gonna start swinging in with him, make him bigger, and in the attrition matchups, life gain and making your guys bigger than your opponents is incredibly relevant.
That's a Sword of Fire and Ice there, I see.
So this is sort of nice.
So you
This is
do
gonna
have one.
change. I do have it. It was in the board initially, but this will become the Jitte. This is gonna become the Body of Mine. Put it in there.
But that's just
Um,
and you
yeah.
have a second one of these guys.
Second take. When you need them, you need them.
Yep.
you know,
And of course that one
Zealous
beats the guys up and
Persecution.
minus
This is This is for any sort of critter matchup, any sort of token matchup. Being able to swing in profitably, in those stalemate matchups where I've just got 12 creatures, you've got 12 creatures, swing in. Okay, I'm gonna Zealous Persecution after blocks are declared.
And
My
what
guys
about
stay
the-
alive.
Sorry, the mountains is very interesting.
It's not a mountain.
Oh, they're
It's 2 chokes and a pithing needle. I've got them proxied at the moment.
okay. They're I was just
Um,
like, okay, this is
yeah.
some crazy
So
strategy. I've
this
never
is
heard of.
this is considering 3 chokes is depending on the meta.
And then
More often than not, the pithing needle is just a catch-all that I very rarely need to use because I've got the removal.
Yeah, yeah.
So it might become 3 chokes. This is purely meta call.
Which one is chokes again? I can't remember.
Choke prevents islands from untapping.
Oh, that would do
So any blue player, I'll just bring those in there, especially if they love to cantrip off because they go cantrip, okay, untap, cantrip again. Okay, you're not untapping. That's it. Yeah.
it. No more on
Um,
top.
Yep. So
Okay.
the sideboard is more functional and it's targeted
that's
against
how you could come like now.
my opponents as
I don't
opposed
see a
to
lot of-
strengthening my core deck.
Which is a very good strategy
Yep.
for side. I mean,
It,
that's pretty
it
much
has
like the
done
basics.
very well for me when
I didn't see a lot of reanimator here, which is interesting.
I've got the 2 Deathrite Shamans in the main. I've got the Scavenging Ooze on the board.
That's 3 ways. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you have.
And then I have Mother of Runes,
Another-
which can give my maybe
uh,
protection. Against Dredge, I have Sylvan Safekeeper and a Dryad Arbor, so I can sacrifice it in response to their bridge triggers before their bridges can trigger. Scrib Ranger is incredibly relevant in the Reanimator matchup, surprisingly enough. Being a flyer against a Gristlebrand is great because I've got Mother of Runes up. So I just go, okay, pro black block. You're not gaining any life. You know, the probability of you being able to draw extra cards is incredibly low.
We're sack 7, give me something, give me something.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're just hoping for something. And
Harder
again,
cards, yes.
I've got neither Reliquary for Caracas in
Yeah,
those
and you're sacking,
Reanimator
there's
matchups.
tons
Yeah.
of lands there, but I think they're
Yeah.
like 10-10 or something crazy.
Right. So I definitely have the ability to play through Reanimator more often than I need to.
We're probably going to do that match now.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yes, so, huh? We're
Oh, you
ready.
got a deck? Alright.
Yep.
Here you go.
Alright, I know how to run this
Let's
deck,
shuffle
but
up.
forgive them possible misplays.
Let me just change it on the stream real quick. Takes 2 seconds.
Are we doing sideboards?
Not game 1.
No.
Yeah,
We'll play through game one.
at some point. It comes to game 2.
What time is it? Midnight. I'm gonna have to leave after the game, unfortunately, but at least we can get one.
Yeah,
One
one's
go
good
with
for-
it.
This is good though, because I can follow up your
Yeah. You all know how to run Reanimator. I'm sure it's more interest for James' deck.
How are we doing battery wise? 10%? Okay.
You got the? Did you have my charger cord?
Yeah, but
The cable's probably not long enough, but it's
Got it.
alright. Don't worry about it. 10% will last us the game.
Yeah, 10% less a match. Because
Mhm.
that's what I had earlier, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cool
Let me
beans.
just censor this.
That's good. Fabulous.
Anyway, my friend,
Let's roll. So you guys first.
you're honest.
Win.
I'll go first.
Like 10 or 11 other
Yeah.
cards.
I'll have to-
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I want to go before you.
Oh no, yeah, it was my turn. I played this last life.
That is the
I'm sorry.
correct response.
Yeah.
And so
This is not one of those matchups that I want to go
now I'm going to
second.
express.
What matchup do you want to go second?
I don't think I did Manaless Dredge.
That's
I
about
think.
it.
Yeah, that's about it. If I
That's
knew that I was
literally
playing
all
against
I got.
Manaless Dredge, I would want to go second.
That's literally
Short of
the
that.
only deck. And if you're hearing what I'll go second, that was right.
Tap, black and white. Self persecution.
Oh, man.
Christian needs.
Hmm.
Yo,
So yeah,
you wanted to replace these eclipses?
well, those just need cleaning. It's because of all the times we played with those after you heat them.
Here we
That
go.
is a valid response.
Literally, you just take a little warm, like wet nap, like that, and just,
Bottom right. One
Oh, yeah?
and then they're like,
Look, it's not even.
Nice.
because those are not that old.
No, not at all.
Four.
So
I
it's
like
one,
the big
2,
ones.
3.
I'll have to do that sometime.
So the
Let's
damage
see
here is 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's
5,
alright.
6, 7, 8, 9. Is that
Alright.
there you go. And then
Okay.
it would have gotten better because I had the sword in play, so I would have untapped all my lands, and then been able to play from the Windbrisk Heights, another Lingering Souls, then flash back to Lingering Souls.
Oh my god. Manamorphous.
Alright, I'll keep.
All right. I go first.
Good point.
Yeah. I'm gonna lead with Verdant Catacombs.
And James, if you want to emphasize to everybody that we are live, and that is that this place.
Are we
is-
live from PLAYLive Nation right now?
Exactly.
Awesome.
We are live. Hello.
All right. So, PLAYLive Nation after hours. Sounds like a great idea to me.
The midnight.
I'm gonna go ahead, crack. I'm gonna get a Scrublands.
Okay, scrub that.
Yep.
You're
So
gonna watch
the
it
white
real quick
black,
against
and I'm gonna play Deathrite Shaman to lead.
I'm gonna win a game.
I'm gonna pass after that. So
Monday.
go ahead.
Alright.
Now you draw.
I don't know. Man.
I'll wait to cut.
I'm telling you, you know what the weakness is. It's the flyers.
Unfortunately, all my hands
Here
are
we
stuck.
go. There you go.
Numerous cheap flyers.
Okay. Draw.
Nah, it's also like the amount of control.
It's like a really good turn if I'm playing, especially
It is a good plan.
if your next land is a green producer. There you go.
All right. Chrome Mox for
Alright,
black.
Mox. Why are you behind me?
Just watch.
History in the making.
This is very creepy.
No pressure.
Yeah, let's play. Let's do it. Sure.
Bye, Z.
I mean, my dad is on.
Let's see.
All right.
Not yet.
That shaman makes my life very difficult.
I don't have green up.
See how long that lasts. I'm gonna have to entomb.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where art thou?
I pulled the
Sir Gristlebrand.
Sir Gristlebrand, very common reanimator target.
Extremely. And a very common counter that is Death Right.
Certainly can be.
That's a very... He doesn't have green yet, so that's the only reason why I'm going for that. But if he draws into that, yeah, he's going to exile the living heck out of that. Cut.
Alright.
Let me see if I'm going to go in for...
James, make sure to remind everybody that they can like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube. This will be on YouTube later, as well as the tech later.
Alright, I just want to remind everybody, please like, subscribe, and this will be up on YouTube later tonight.
Yep. And I'll pass turn, so...
Alright.
Let's see if he draws that green and exiles my Gristlebrand. That's what's going to happen. Yep, it's going to happen.
Unfortunately, summoning sickness. I'll pass.
Alright, that's Chromox. Interesting.
Go to 17. Side hollow. Go to 18.
YOLO. Exile. Red mana. Tap for green. Play Animate Dead.
Black. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, tap for black, I'm sorry.
Animate
Animate
Dead.
Dead, trigger, targeting Gristlebrand. Response.
No?
Take a
That's fine.
wild guess at
Okay.
when the deck is filled.
So this comes out with a -1, so this is
Yep.
6/5.
Yeah.
So it's
I ranked
6/7.
12 mana for
Alright.
this deck.
Yep. I will pass
You
turn.
can play this right now.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
It is a 6/7.
Somebody sickness was
What do I want to do with that?
On turn 2.
That, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He could have gotten rid of it. I'm more sketched out that he didn't get
I
rid of it.
can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
I could not get rid of it because the Dried Arbor has summoning sickness. So I could not produce the green that
It is
turn.
a creature.
Yep.
I always forget.
Yep.
Dry Arbor is a creature, so actually I got lucky. Phrases next.
Alright, so
let's see.
draw.
Gristlebrand is a 6/7. Just mind if I use a counter?
Yeah.
Alright,
Go
so this is
for
just
it.
going to show that he has a -1 attack counter because there's an Animate Dead.
Mhm.
But I don't lose life because Reanimate I would have lost 7 life.
Yep.
And if I wanted
8
to,
life converted mana cost?
8, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
I always think it's
Would
7.
have lost 8 life
Well,
with the
because everything
reanimator.
else about him is 7.
Yeah,
Pay
Alright.
7, draw 7, 7, 7.
cost 8.
And I'm gonna lingering
Mhm.
He is 2 mana.
near souls. Pass a turn.
Lingering mirrors.
Lingering.
And, what color is the duel that you have? It's black.
Black,
See,
white.
this is what I'm
Okay, so he's
supposed to
got
do.
black, white, green on board.
Oh, by the way, how much left did I just gain?
2, 3.
Alright.
Alright, thanks again for all of our viewers watching. Please like and subscribe.
Let's go with.
Or leave a comment if you have any questions. We will respond.
Let's do
Christian
this
nodding to
beforehand.
confirm the response.
Yeah.
I need to.
And
I'm gonna go with the Sword
in response to
Splasher.
that, I'm going
Yeah.
to pay 7 life.
Go for
Go
it.
down
Yes,
to
please.
13.
13.
I just figured out how to
This
do it.
does
The other day 'cause
resolve,
you mentioned
exile,
it
animate
before.
dead's gone.
Then
but
you
I
draw
draw
your
7
cards
cards.
before. Yeah.
Nice.
1, 2,
And I was testing
3,
it when you were hosting
4,
the SCP.
5, 6, and
So I
7.
think that I can
Alright.
do it.
Passing?
I'm gonna put it to auto so that these strings
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That would
Alright.
be ideal.
Let's see what we've got going forward.
Dao Yang? Dao Yang?
Well, let's see. Oh, we got somebody
Alright,
from
we got our land.
Cheers from Norway.
Nice.
Cool.
Thank you so much. Kung
Thank
Fu
you from
Zergy.
Norway.
Thank you, Kung Fu
Kung Fu Zerje, thank you very much.
Faithless Looting?
Wow.
Faithless
No
Looting
way.
resolves.
What?
Yeah.
No way. From Norway. We got,
Yeah.
Sorry. The king of puns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright, into
Oh, no.
discarding
You're good.
Gristlebrand and
I am
Nice,
awful.
bro. Oh,
It's
that is-
about-
Um,
yeah, that taps.
Nope,
That's the red
I
you
am
needed
not-
for the Faithless.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
then,
Chris.
hold on a
Side
second, I'm still
You got the
throwing
Chrome
back.
Lux for black.
Tap 1 to black for
6-2.
Dark Ritual to leave me with 3 black floating.
Alright, you got 3 black floating.
Alright, I will go.
I mean, 'cause you have 2 dorks. There's no way it's
let's
stopping
see how
one. 'cause
greedy
you
do I
can't
want to
run
do.
those, you're gonna play.
I need to play this correctly.
Oh, I get
Either
it
way,
off
it's the
that.
same. I need to do my plan of play right.
AC 5/6 for 2.
Okay, let's do
Go.
Yeah, right?
No, one's on
1 to play Reanimate, targeting
Targeting. with the
Tyrant.
target.
My target is
So you're targeting. I'm going to go ahead and eat it in response to the target of
okay.
reanimate.
So this goes in exile.
So
and
that
you
goes
gain.
into exile. I gain 2 life.
Okay.
You got 2 black mana
I
floating.
will use the last of the 2.
Yep.
Animate dead.
Yep.
Targeting Gristlebrand.
Yep.
Okay.
So you now get the Gristlebrand, which
Here.
I'm more okay with the Gristlebrand coming out than I am with the Tidespout Tyrant.
Yeah,
Tidespout
because then I
Tyrant
would've
bouncing my
just-
stuff is
That was my.
very challenging to deal with.
Which actually I misplayed for those. I should have targeted the Gristlebrand to let him go with that
Yeah.
because I was.
No, I probably would have left the Gristlebrand, allowed that to come out with the reanimate.
But I chose to do that first
Yeah.
because then I would have triggered that
Absolutely, you would have
and
triggered.
then immediately go for the Death Ray Shaman. But he was not going to allow me to have that easy.
No, can't make your life easy. That would be bad.
All right, I'm at 13.
So it
He
wasn't
just
Yep.
came to the field.
Yep.
My graveyard looks decent, and for those whenever you're running Reanimator, always remember if you have a Faithless Looting, you have a flashback. Because I sometimes forget and I've lost matches for that. I will pass turn.
Alright, untap. Draw. That's unfortunate.
Voice said almost here.
So,
This counters to show that it's a 6/7, so -1 attack
Oh,
counter.
right as I say that.
Oh, I think it was a glitch in line because our timestamp is off.
oh, click on the utility.
I'm out.
All right,
Is
we're
it
having
checked
some
then?
technical
Yeah.
difficulties,
Huh.
The
and
timestamp, I'll stick it off.
we're good. I
Okay.
think.
It's an
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Alright,
so it's James' turn.
let's go ahead and.
I'm at 13. He's at 21. He has a shaman out, but
Oh, yeah.
I got my Gristlebrand out for a second time.
Yo,
Does he have another sword?
unfortunately not.
No sword. Alright, so
But what I do have is a Thalia.
that's non-creature spells cost 1 more, right?
Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast, so I'll go ahead and pass now.
That's gonna make my life a little more difficult.
Just a little bit.
Badland for turn,
Yep.
and I have to pay 2 in order to play Faithless Looting.
Draw 2, discard
I will
2.
discard Chancellor.
Oof,
and
Chancellor
a
of the Annex
Sire.
is rough. Sire is
Just
also
promoting
very
spells.
rough.
Okay, I cannot believe I actually have to do this. Wait,
You have the Simian Spirit Guide reanimate.
no, that would be really, really nice right now.
Simian Spirit Guide reanimate would definitely be nice.
I do not have that. None of your creatures have flying, if I'm
Nope.
correct.
None of my creature has flying, so you can
4, 5, 6.
connect as needed.
That would be nice. So I'm just gonna have to enter combat for 6 in the air.
Take 6.
Go up to 19.
Yep.
And
Alright, perfect.
I think
I'd
gained
say
1.
I'm gonna pass turn.
I think I gained 1. Take 6. I'm at 14.
And to show the players the reason I want to do that, but
Maybe I started
I
with
can't hardly.
straight up.
7.
I got my 2
I
spirits.
could, but then I still have to pay
Yep.
an
Alright,
extra 1
untap.
to like that.
Draw.
Sword
No.
And then
or an abrupt decay.
Abrupt Decay would be nice. That is what I'm digging for.
Either abrupt decay or a sword or a. Those will ruin my day. And of course, I will immediately respond. But he still
Let's
has.
see here.
He can still
So,
target. Oh, what's
that
the
doesn't give you that.
what's the green for the black for shaman when you tap it? When you exile a
Non-land.
sorcery
Instant or
instant.
sorcery to make you lose 2 life.
Okay, so he still has that.
So I still have options
Oh, I
available
got
to me.
sorry.
I do not. I know you are very. This is your. I'm in your territory.
I'll block with all 3.
This is the
Yeah.
legacy.
All 3 die.
I'm a noob.
Yes.
Reanimator's not
And again, next
super
turn.
complicated.
Go ahead and play Deathrite Shaman.
Oh,
Because having 2 of them doesn't.
So that's next turn.
Yeah, it's
No, it's
You don't want to target anything like
I'm gonna go ahead swing for 2.
that. Okay, I'll take it.
Yep. All right, and I'll pass after that.
Sketched out.
And I definitely have plenty of utility.
Save another bad land.
Definitely have plenty of answers. I just need to get to them. The fact that you keep drawing lands through my Thalia is a challenge.
I'm deciding if I'm gonna just to let them know. I'm deciding if I should. Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
On tap phase. I probably I'm gonna should I was it a misplay to not go for the -7 at the end of your turn?
I wouldn't. Not if you don't need to. I mean, it depends on if you have play. I still can't get rid of your Gristlebrand, and if you have additional play in hand, you don't need to put yourself into dangerous life territory.
That's okay. So this play hasn't happened. So I think I'm just gonna go swing for the 6.
I'll take 6.
I will go to 23. You
Go back to your hand.
1, 2, 3. I'm at 7.
okay? So he's on a 2-turn clock, but that means nothing in this.
Mm-hmm.
I will pass. See
All
what
right. At the end of your turn, I am going to.
targeting.
I'm gonna eat your Sire of Insanity.
You gain 2, right?
Gain 2.
Okay.
Oh,
I figured that.
That's right. I gained the 2 from
How much casting
here.
cost? 7?
2.
What'd
12.
you gain the extra 2?
So
I'll take 5,
13, and then I gained 2
And then a minus 6.
off of these guys. Right.
So you're.
So this was plus 4.
Shouldn't you be at 9?
Oh, I misplayed.
You're at 6.
All right. 6. That's 12. 13.
So like the third turn.
Right. That puts me at 7.
Okay.
Plus 4 is 11.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Works for me.
Untap.
Right.
I think you missed the trigger earlier, but it's fine. Not a tournament.
There we go.
Besides, this is learning for me as well as for you guys watching. Which, once again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Any comments, Christian will be more than happy to
Let's
respond.
go ahead.
And PLAYLive Nation, thank you for hosting us. And that's the Plowshare. And in response to that, I will minus 7, go to 16. Because now I need to.
Yep.
I go from exile, and make deck go to graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What? Wait, why did I gain 7? Oh,
George.
so it was a Plowshare. So literally nothing happened. That's nice. Okay.
All right. I'll go ahead, swing for 2,
I will take the 2.
and I will pass.
Okay. So,
And I'll block that one.
flashback is not an instant speed, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's still a sorcery. You're still casting.
So let me just.
Definitely have plenty of cards. You're gonna have to
Alright,
discard
Oh
at the
yeah,
end of turn.
no, I've got plenty of
I'm gonna head
plays.
out.
Mhm.
Alright,
He's
that
gonna
man is
look up-
Felix,
All right, Felix.
Felix.
employee of PLAYLive Nation.
All right.
Alright,
He'll lock
Respect
up
him.
when we're ready.
more than you respect me.
Respect his
That doesn't say
politics.
very much.
But yeah, this man also needs to go home as well.
All right. As soon as we're done here, we'll.
That is valid.
So when he says you guys gotta go,
We gotta go. All
we
right.
gotta go.
All right, I'm gonna
All
tap
right. I'll think about it.
2 in order to get Dark Ritual.
Okay. You got
So
3
that's
mana floating.
3 mana floating. Okay. So it's 3 mana floating. One of that mana I have to use. Actually, hold on a second.
Yep.
I need one,
It's just the
one, and then one of these floating in order to play Faithless Looting.
Okay.
To draw 2
Yeah.
and discarding
Tomorrow.
Elsinore
Ooh.
and Sire.
You guys, obviously.
Another Sire. All right. That
Okay,
happens.
then I'm going to. Quick question, Christian.
Mhm.
I'm assuming I still have to pay 1 to use that, correct? Even though normally I wouldn't have to.
With
He has a
Thalia
fire on
on the
board.
battlefield.
I mean, I'm just.
That is correct. You still need to pay one.
Okay. Yeah, so I have to keep that in mind for my next play.
Felix, you need me to do anything before I go?
What?
You need me to do anything else before I go?
9, 10, 11. That's okay. Then I'll tap 2
What
because
is
I
there
have
left
to
to do?
play Reanimate.
There's only this.
You have 2
Oh,
mana floating. You might as well just use the 2
I am
mana.
on-
So we'll use the 2 mana instead.
Yeah,
It's
use 2
floating.
mana for Reanimate.
Targeting?
Elsinore.
I'm gonna go ahead and eat Elishnorn in response
Then
to the target.
Oh,
Then I will tap
I'll make a
2,
token. Go to
when
5.
you're done
Gain a life.
sleeping,
Reanimate again.
Reanimate sorcery speed. Can't do it.
This is, I'm sorry?
Sorcery speed.
Oh, you forgot to check off. I got
It's
Oh,
sorcery
it's not
speed.
just
So
that, it resolves.
right. So that gets exiled,
Yeah,
right?
it resolves.
Okay. So I gain 2.
Yeah, and I'm saying now that that is resolved,
Okay.
I'm
Got
doing
it.
it again.
All
And this time
right.
I'm targeting.
but I know, like, also people that have done it in the
Do I
morning.
want Sire or do I want
Like,
Chancellor?
they come in the
Yeah, like Robert literally said.
You're
if-
out of green,
if you
so you
go
can't
up
do
there
it again.
and there's,
Correct.
Any small things that you don't want to do,
No.
just we can just do it tomorrow morning.
Chancellor doesn't count on it. Actually, I realized I misplayed. I should have chose that and then gone for the Elish Norn, because then I could have wiped your board. So,
How'd you pay for that?
this is Legacy. There is no forgiveness in misplays. That might cost me the match. But I might
No,
be
because
able-
again, if you target something other than Elish Norn, I'm not going to eat it. I'll let you put something else out. The
Yeah.
Elish Norn stops me. You have no Elish Norn in your yard. I'm going to eat that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Chancellor of Lands or Sire. Yeah. I'll go with the Chancellor.
Okay.
So I lose 7?
So you lose 8?
8.
7, sorry.
No.
Yep.
I go down to 14.
Okay.
Because I have no more crystal brands. And let's see if I can do anything else. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then I'm going to go to discard.
Like I had a dream about this exact
I will
situation.
discard
2 cards.
another Chancellor.
A lot.
Yep.
And let's
Chan-
go
Chancellor's
with
relevant.
Romance.
Alright. Sounds good.
So I will pass turn.
Okay. Draw.
More anything else? Because I
I'm
think
really not.
How many
doing
guys
this
have
very
Space
well.
Time?
We know Space Time.
5. That's amazing how many main.
Same way we know,
And
like,
just for the people watching, notice just how amazing it is to be able to pull a turn 1 Death Right Shaman against Reanimator.
you can bend.
That's the one that gives protection from colors.
Protection from a color.
All these things.
So,
Then it makes sense.
because he's
There
look
should
at
be
this
some way to tap into
board
No.
that he's exiled.
this malleable somehow. He's asking what kind of venue we're at, James.
I'll
Alright,
pass.
good.
So this is a PLAYLive Nation is a gaming store. They have
Gaming lounge? How would you describe
gaming
this?
lounge. How would you describe it?
Premium.
Yeah, it's a
gaming.
premium gaming lounge. They've got, flat screen TVs up on the wall, video game systems hooked up, and they set up tables along the middle for us in order to
Okay.
in order to play these tabletop games.
More than one, right?
Yeah, so
Sack
they
for
definitely do
13, fetch for.
a great job
Anything I
of
can
providing
finish
us
at this
with
point.
with a great venue.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay, search for literally the only thing I can search for.
All right.
At this point, I'm
Kevin, tell me
getting the
when to
deck
see you
out
tomorrow.
because I have got tons of land.
Yeah.
I plan on waking up early to work. So, which isn't the issue, is that I have potentially something scheduled in between, like,
I will pay
Yeah.
1,
or bringing
exile
somebody
in tune, play Unmask.
yeah.
I hope you can
Okay.
make it.
So I can
It makes me discard a card, right? Of
No,
your
I get to
choice,
see your hand. You have to
and then
reveal
you
your
discard a
hand.
card, right? A
Discard
non-land.
non-land card.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Okay, we got Jite, Thalia, with runes.
This is like the nightclub equivalent for Magic. Of
Yeah.
James, I'm gonna go with what I think is right, but I'm gonna ask you what should have been the right one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with.
oh, by the
No,
way,
I
each
have
of those
heck of
those
land. I
things
don't
came
care
back
about
in.
Thalia.
I think I forgot.
I can't play a second Thalia, so unless you have a removal spell, leaving the Thalia in my hand is a good idea.
Yeah, because I should have gained like 4 or 5 or whatever.
I'll go with the Jite.
GT allows me to gain life.
That's why I was like, get
Which
rid
is
of
definitely
Jite.
relevant.
Because
I'm pumping him.
all right, and let me see my hand. See if there's anything else I want
No,
to do.
he deals 8.
I cannot believe I'm gonna do this, but I am gonna tap 1 to play a Lotus Petal.
All right.
Wait,
Just
That's
to play.
definitely not a bad idea. I mean, it gives you the free mana when you need it in the past.
Okay, and let's go for 5 in the air.
I'll take 5.
And
All right.
I never read
Pass
the
turn.
last part.
All right. At the end of your turn, I'm gonna go ahead
You
and.
don't have
Yep.
enough mana. You have to pay 1 more, else it gets counted.
I'm not.
Or is that
It's just
cast-
spells.
Well, I don't
Oh,
know.
it's-
Yeah, just
Oh,
cast spell.
Oh, I thought it was
That's
abilities.
it.
Never mind.
No.
So you're exiling.
Just casting spell.
I have a Chancellor and a Sire on my Valor.
I'm gonna take out the Sire. I'll gain 2. 10.
That you're using to pump them.
Oh,
They're all tokens.
I'll untap.
my graveyard is ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
What is a Reanimator? What do you expect?
Yeah. All right. Draw.
Your turn? Yeah.
Yeah.
You are seriously mana blocked.
Oh yeah. This is definitely not the way I wanted this to go.
Yeah.
And I, on the other hand,
I'm at 20 something.
looking for the people looking at my hand.
It would be 7.
There you
Okay.
So I'll
go.
trump
Can't
that, but I'll
do
take 7.
that. I
So
mean,
then that puts
it's
me
gonna
at
have so many sickness anyways, right?
What else am I
9.
looking at?
Okay.
Whatever I play.
I will attack 7.
Let's see here.
To Bane fire you for 6.
Excuse me.
It's bedtime in Europe. Nice deck tech, James.
You're welcome. Glad you enjoyed it.
Wait.
Definitely want to play this on camera more in the future. Explain out my
Okay. And this is actually
ideas.
my first time on camera. Like I'm not camera shy.
So let's see. I am very camera shy, actually. Actually, you know what? I'm not camera shy. I'm more microphone shy.
Dang it, you're quite natural, to be honest.
No, you're doing great.
Alright.
Encourage.
I can't stop
Go
that.
ahead. I'm just
So
gonna
you
go
want to
ahead
in
and
one
swing
game,
in for
right?
2.
I will take it. Still no land.
Still no land.
You let me get away with those dorks.
Yeah. I will pass.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So
See, I just
now
didn't
we're
know you
getting
could
to
do
the
that.
grind match.
I didn't know that would deal direct damage.
Oh yeah.
Alright,
Once it
I
I
would
comes
have played
out,
differently if I knew that.
Untap my
I mean, I
land.
don't know if I would have still been in road.
Let's go with
once it
all of my
comes down,
land.
that's
land.
usually
hit.
Because what I would have done
Step
is just
2.
like killed him
Into-
when he attacked.
Yeah.
I don't
If I
even.
did that,
I'm gonna be real with you
I
guys.
would've
I don't even know if I
Used
have
save
a
the
viable
tokens.
card.
Or
Target
you
left.
sacrifice
Yeah, I
some of these
mean,
guys.
you can't put
Just get
any
rid of
card,
them.
so you have plenty of
Because I don't
targets.
have access to direct
I mean, I
damage.
can put a simian. I can put a simian spirit card.
Yeah, you can put
but I
whatever
will
you
put-
want.
A Gristlebrand.
Gristlebrand's a good target.
Yeah. Well, I can always replace your army. I just,
Alright.
I
So we've
cannot-
got a. So I got one creature in the graveyard, 2 creatures in the graveyard, but he also has 2 valid
I know,
targets.
For real, like, force it went all out.
All right, 5 in the air,
Take 5.
Because I could do this.
which means he's gonna
and
gain 2
3
life.
life
Pass
at the
turn.
most.
Alright,
So
I'll
I'll
go
have to
ahead
go
and
to
eat
6.
Really?
Chancellor.
You're
And
gonna
And
go
then
to 6.
I'll
Okay.
Gain
make a
2.
token, I'll go to
So I
7.
still have
Yeah.
the little Gristle.
But then
On
you can
top,
do that for more than
and
7,
draw a
or you
card.
can use mere tokens.
I can
A
use
land.
any
Finally.
That's exactly it, so you got
I'll
it, yeah.
play.
Oh my gosh, I've
land.
been misplaying so hard. I have 2
Yo,
faith.
where is my
3
guy
faithless
Carlos?
3
lootings.
faithless.
Oh, it's
lootings.
I have
Xander.
3 faithless lootings, and I have enough mana to hard cast
To hard cast
with a Thali
multiple
on board.
faithless lootings.
With 2
Winning
faithless.
Yep.
Oh, I've been
is
misplaying so
first
hard.
game
I could have done that.
Alright,
after
let's
Oh.
see here. So,
And I even commented earlier to make sure to
go ahead,
remember
swing
that.
for
But
2.
that's
Take
what
it.
my deck
I know what I'm gonna do next turn.
Alright, 5 more
The thing
turn.
is,
5
if you
turn
let
clock.
me
Let's
get
do
away
this.
Is that it?
I see that
Oh,
now.
I misplayed
see
too.
that
Don't worry about
very
it.
clearly.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pass. Go
Alright.
ahead.
And the thing is,
See what
like,
we
All right,
got
Daddy
going.
needs
on it to make it a
cards.
What is
little
that?
more
1, 2,
consistent.
3, 4.
I don't know
Alright.
what-
Faithless looting.
Faithless.
Draw 2. Discard 2. I'm gonna discard
Xander says it's like
fetch
he never
lands that
really
I
left.
can't even search for.
You hit?
Put my graveyard
Alright.
here. And
I'm so glad Xander's watching. That's awesome.
all right. Let me see. How do I want to do this?
Dude, the guy in Oslo, Norway, it's like 6 a.m. over
I
there.
have
He was up late.
I think what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna tap 2.
Yeah.
No, he was just he's just
Play
like
in
fits every.
Another Entomb. Alright.
You have you cracked your fetch yet?
No.
I'm so glad you're asked. It's because these are
Should I?
tokens. So in my deck,
Put a
it's
chancellor
called Black
here.
White Tokens.
You got a Chancellor of the Annex.
Oh my lord. Yes,
That's a card.
There's another guy that goes in here, and that's what
Tap.
he's actually saying that
Swung. This is in my name
Yeah.
phase 1.
spams
Mhm.
onto
Okay.
wolf token on the
Yeah.
field,
Yeah, like
and swarms you, and then
Tap to
starts beating you down.
Reanimate.
it's
Targeting
as
Gristlebrand?
many meters as possible. Oh. And scotch.
Will you let me have it, or are you gonna exile
Like
me?
it starts running out of hand.
No,
Very
On the
easy.
stack.
you lost. Yeah, go ahead.
I lost.
Yeah,
How?
go ahead.
You're gonna
Because that
put-
puts you to 1.
Oh shit, that was Tinkerbell.
Oh dear lord, he's right.
You put 2 what?
You can't reanimate.
He's right.
If
I
you
can't
reanimate, I
reanimate.
win. You
He's
can't
right.
afford it. I've got a Death Ray Chiming up with black mana.
Oh.
I can't.
You cannot do that.
Oh my gosh. No, I just realized.
Do you run into what's the other one?
Swing for 5.
Yeah,
Yes, that's all I can
5.
do. Swing for 5.
1, 2.
All of that was to reanimate, and I can't.
Yeah.
Fast turn.
What do we learn?
Okay. I'll crack. I go to 1.
Reanimate
Right,
makes you lose lots of
Oh,
life.
he's at 1.
Who's that one? James?
James. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if I don't
Go
know.
ahead, play by
If he lets
you.
me swing, then it's over. But
No, because I could gain enough life to get out of that. Continue swinging in.
is that Swamp Forest? Oh, that's
It,
a really
it's a
nice
bayou. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna eat Gristlebrand and Chancellor, I believe. Yeah. Do you have any other creatures in there?
I think
You guys finished?
Nope.
Yeah,
They're
we-
all
yeah.
land
Alright.
sorceries.
So I'm at 5. So I'm gonna untap.
Okay.
Draw.
Perfect.
There we go.
See, this one
You know, you
That-
have
that-
creatures in your
That
graveyard.
would have been nice a few turns ago.
You know, you
I have no creatures in my graveyard actually.
Oh.
Not a single one of my creatures has died or been discarded.
You know, you have a graveyard, so you don't have to exile mine, okay?
I'll swing for 2.
I will take it.
And we'll do this preemptively actually.
Let's just see how many. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has exiled 9 of my creatures.
We do. I've said it several times.
Deathray Charm is amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat your faithless looting preemptively.
Okay, that
Well,
is.
well, it's my turn. That puts you at 5, and I'm at 5, and you have no creatures, and I have no creatures.
Yeah, I already mailed them to discuss
I-
the
I-
That is a problem.
No, I have no creatures.
Uh,
got no
I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
What,
All right.
doing what?
Sylvan Safekeeper.
Yeah. No, but
Okay,
we
that's
wanna do,
sacrifice.
Pay 1. Sacrifice a land. Target creature I control gains hexproof until end of or shroud until end of turn.
Okay,
I'll pass.
which creature are you targeting?
Nothing right now. I'm not doing anything yet. I'm just casting it.
Okay,
Store order.
alright.
Paying the 1 for
You pass.
Chancellor of the Annex, and I pass.
Is that
So let's see what
They pay,
happens.
like, I don't know, I'm
At
making
this
it up.
point,
250
let's see, heart of the cards.
And then all the Maverick Deck shirts will have PLAYLive Nation in the front of them. And
Okay.
every tournament we go to will have the
everything in the store.
Well, I
and
do
there's
have another Faithless Looting, so
Yeah.
I'll pay the 4.
Yep. Faithless looting.
Flashback. Okay. I want to do that.
Oh, yeah,
I
exactly.
really want to
And
do
in our
that.
case, like, what do you call it? My
But I-
channel is like the one that's streamed off of here.
You know what?
Like, that's
Look at my
multi-source,
hand,
so
and
it makes sense that it would be us.
it's pretty interesting
for the
why
magic
normally I
purposes.
would pick this for sure.
Alright, so this
But
is
because of what he has on the board and the mana he has open, I'm actually not going to target that. I'm actually going to target 2 lands.
oh nice.
Discarding 2 lands. Alright.
A blank
That's fine.
I don't
Nice,
want to
nice.
do that, but he has left me very little choice.
See, I did.
You know what? There's no reason to do this, but I just want to do it. I just want to unmask.
Unmask. Yep. Pay 1. Untap. Unmask. That's fine. Targeting me.
Yeah, yes.
Alright. I got a Mother of Runes, Green Sun Zenith, Thalia, Gaddock Teak.
Another Mother of Runes. Greens on Zenith. I can target that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can target whatever you want.
Is your monster
I'm gonna go with the Greens on Zenith because
Alright.
I don't want you to bring that guy to play that gets giant from things in
Yep.
your land and all that stuff.
Sounds good.
Okay. He has no creatures to target on any graveyard,
Now
so
I know
Right.
why
the
Yu-Gi-Oh
swing,
players call creatures
you
monsters.
should be dead.
Unfortunately not.
Yu-Gi-Oh
I'm gonna
they're
float a
called
green.
monsters. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Imagine
I'm gonna sacrifice using Sylvan
But
Safekeeper.
now makes
I'm
sense.
gonna give my Deathrite
Hey,
Shaman
what kind of monster is that?
Shroud.
And then you're going to.
Now using the floating green, I'm gonna go ahead and eat it. I'll go up to 7,
Ah.
and then I'll take 5 and I'll go down to 2.
Well, yeah, like pocket
Alright.
monsters. Pokemon.
Okay.
That's where Pokemon. That's
My
what-
turn.
Yeah, I'll
That's funny,
pass.
I'll
Pokemon
untap.
is actually English.
Because I'm looking, I'm like, I'm sure he's got a way out. I
Yeah.
can't. I don't know
That-
what it is.
That is why I went with the Sylvan Safekeeper.
Yeah, because that's I always forget Druid. It is a creature.
Yeah,
that a Wasteland?
Dryad Arbor. Nope, it's a Caracas. Wasteland doesn't do
See,
anything.
this? Watch what-
Caracas doesn't do anything right now either because
What
it
does
got
Caracas do again?
These
return
are,
a legendary
um,
creature to its owner's
so I'm
hands.
not gonna
Not a
use
legendary.
it.
Not legendary, but that's
These
okay
actually got
because
too long.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'll swing for 3,
See, because this one is.
Put you at
if you
2?
Really put it up there.
and I'll go ahead and I'll eat
Yeah.
Dark
But the
Ritual.
Ultra Pro, the official ones.
That's the last 2. Maverick took it. You know, so this is actually.
Look,
I had
look
this
how
in my
clever the
hand.
100 ones fit.
Like, yep.
But I didn't want to do this because I'm like, you're just gonna eat it, gain the 2 life. So
These
what's
are
the
only
point
like
of
12
exhuming
bucks.
it? And then I
Yep.
do. So that
Hey,
was
if anybody
that's
wants
why I
to buy
ended
these
up.
for-
That is rough. Yeah, the Exhume would have been nice.
They're nice.
A few turns ago.
Yeah, a couple turns back, that would have been great.
But then it was too late. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I looked at it. I was like, I was telling you, like, normally you should always do this, but because of he has green available, he's at 5, and I don't want him to gain life.
Yep.
I gotta
No,
get
this is
rid.
definitely the right way. I mean, again, that's why I played the Sylvan Safekeeper, knowing that I could get a land into my, getting Dryad Arbor into my graveyard in order to eat it, which is
Because I was
incredibly
looking, I'm like,
important.
he's way too confident. He has some kind of a plan that I don't know
It's
about.
playing to your outs. It's knowing how to sequence my lines of play in order to get where I need to go, and I was able to
Yeah.
eke out that
what was
win
your
there.
misplay? You said you misplayed somewhere.
Yeah, I should have played. I should have been putting out more bodies onto the battlefield.
With what?
I had mana. I mean the moms. I mean I didn't. Oh, I also didn't eat. That misplay that I was talking about. I had the scrubland and the Deathray Shaman up, and I didn't just eat something out of your yard. I should have eaten like a Faithless Looting,
Yeah,
deal that
anything.
2 damage early. Just to move forward with that.
For me, I should have been flashbacking those because I may have been able to.
Yeah,
draw
those
them.
early, the earlier turns before you hit that land pocket, or right after you hit that land pocket would have been great.
Yeah, I was like, wait, Faceless Lootings, I have 3 of them. I have 8 mana.
Yeah.
Even with Athalia, I can play 2.
Yeah, but I want to thank our viewers once again. It was great having you guys here with us. We're gonna be
enjoy playing for you.
remember to like, comment, subscribe, and again, this video will be up on YouTube in a couple hours, so make sure you check it out there in its entirety. All right, thank you guys once again for the night, and we'll catch you guys. Hopefully tomorrow we're gonna be streaming from Hey Wanna Play, so catch our Legacy tournament then. We'll be starting at 12:45 tomorrow.
I will not be doing that, but I
So,
will see you guys another day. Have a great one, guys.
thank you guys. Good night.